But right now, Arizona is building more barriers this morning, building up on the wall. The state's governor saying he will not wait for Washington to take action. We have new video of immigrants crossing the southern border. There's some questions about the effectiveness of the fencing and shipping containers that are actually stacked along certain gaps in the wall. We've seen video of that from over the past year. Correspondent Allie Bradley is joining us live this morning from Yuma, Arizona with more. Allie, why is there such sudden urgency? And maybe it's not so sudden. Maybe it's just finally getting to us by Governor Ducey to get those holes in the wall filled in.
Yeah, Adrian, just one of the big reasons is because last month there were more fentanyl seized than any other month in history. Over June, we saw a 203% increase. So that's just one reason why the governor is so concerned with people flooding in through the border, because obviously with more fentanyl seized and basically the same amount of people out here doing those seizures, we're seeing more fentanyl streaming into the country, which of course is a major issue for our nation right now. Now, Governor Ducey says in just 48 hours, DPS here in Arizona actually seized more than 80 pounds of fentanyl. That's in a very short amount of time there. Now, that was suspected fentanyl, I should mention, and that's a street value of about $3.6 million in the Tucson sector, which not far from here. They worked with Cochise County Sheriff there, and they were able to stop a human and drug smuggling situation there as well. Once again, seizing an undisclosed amount of fentanyl pills there in that seizure, and they tweeted that out last night. So a couple of reasons there why they're so adamant. And the DEA says 2 milligrams of fentanyl is enough to kill one person. Now, we're talking 80 pounds that were seized in a 48-hour time period. 2,100 pounds across the southern border when compared to just 702 pounds in June. 2,100 pounds in a month. That's what they're talking about. So that's just one of the reasons why they're looking at this. Now, I should mention here there were 146 seizures versus just 113 in June.
You know, we have one more question for you. I know Governor Ducey said the Yuma Gap is closed, but is it? And just how effective has that closure been so far?
Yeah, so it's kind of a work in progress. We saw the really long stretch of those shipping containers, 21 long, 42 of them total because they're double stacked. Now, that just kind of ends. The shipping containers end, and we were talking about this the other day. The reason why it ends, and this is one of the logistical problems that they have to deal with, is it actually butts up to sovereign land. So they can't actually impede on that land and put shipping containers there right now. So that is one of the reasons there. But you're looking at the area behind me here, and there's these shipping containers here as well. And there's a crack in those shipping containers. We've seen at least 20 people cross in that small gap that's there. Now, again, it is a work in progress, something that they'll be working on once again today, filling another gap today. So far, 3 of them have shipping containers covering those holes. The federal government saying that they would work on 4 of them. They don't know exactly which 4 those are, according to the mayor here in Yuma. But an interesting thing is there are 50 gaps along the border in Yuma. So they still have 37 gaps or 47, excuse me, that they need to work on. So again, still a big work in progress out here.
Yeah, and there was the word that over the weekend somebody possibly toppled over some of those shipping containers, others blaming it on the weather. But what an interesting story as the immigration crisis rages. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.